What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Rich Talks BS. I'm your host, Rich. Super wild card weekend was interesting, entertaining, and boring all in one. I've gotten different reactions to people enjoying the weekend, enjoying the games, to others saying that they were bored in either game they were watching. It was a crazy weekend, crazy games, close, upset. Like I said, just interesting, entertaining, and boring. But we're going to get right into it. We start with the Saturday game. Colts Bills. Colts 24, Bills 27. Rivers with 309 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, 21 rushing attempts, 78 yards, and 1 touchdown. Hines with 6 attempts, 75 yards. They had 163 rushing yards as a team. Pittman with 5 catches, 90 yards. Doyle with 7 catches, 70 yards, and 1 touchdown. And Pascal with 3 catches and 1 touchdown. Josh Allen with 324 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. 11 rushing attempts, 54 yards, and a touchdown. Singletary and Moss each had 21 rushing yards. They had 96 rushing yards as a team. Diggs with 6 catches, 128 yards, and 1 touchdown. Davis with 4 catches, 85 yards, and Cole Beasley coming back, 7 catches, 57 yards. Knox also had a touchdown. This game pretty much came down to the end. Colts coming, trying to make a comeback. They score. They failed on a 2-point attempt. The Bills stopped Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, all the way down to Phillip Rivers throwing a Hail Mary at the end of the game. This game was good. This game was close. Maybe for some a little closer than it should, especially compared to how Phillip Rivers had been playing for the past few weeks. Barely getting to 200 yards passing, barely putting up numbers. There was not really much offense, but this defense carried this team into the postseason. This defense, made a few stops. This Colts defense did good against Josh Allen and the Bills. This powerful, explosive offense that's behind Josh Allen, and it was, it was good. They not trying to make the same mistakes that they did last year or go down the same road that they did last season, and they came out with the win. Bills are on a 7-game win streak. They have 10 straight games with 24 or more points, including the playoffs. And Tyler Bass' 54-yard field goal is the longest by a rookie. It's going to be interesting as the Bills keep moving forward. The playoffs are hard, especially in the AFC, and it's just a few more obstacles in their way to getting to the Super Bowl. Next, we got Rams Seahawks. Rams 30, Seahawks 20. Wolford was the starter, and he got injured early in the first, so that brought Jared Goff out. 12 days after thumb surgery, he threw for 155 yards and 1 touchdown. Cam Akers with 28 rushing attempts, 131 yards, and 1 touchdown. They had 164 rushing yards as a team. Kupp had 4 catches, 78 yards. Woods had 4 catches, 48 yards, and a touchdown. Darius Williams had a pick 6 for 42 yards. They had 5 sacks as a team, and Darnold had 2 sacks by itself. Wilson, 174 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 4 rushing attempts, 50 yards. Carson had 16 attempts, 77 yards. They had 136 rushing yards as a team. Metcalf with 5 catches, 96 yards, and 2 touchdowns. They had 3 sacks as a team. Bobby Wagner was all over the field for this Seahawks defense. He just couldn't do it by himself. Rams scoring 30 on this Seahawks defense. Like I said the week before, this game was going to depend on what Seahawks defense showed up and which Russell Wilson showed up. And they both showed up at the same time. The bad defense showed up. The bad Russell Wilson showed up. You let your whole team, the whole bad side of your team, show up against this Rams team that's not doing much, missing their starting quarterback, but still maintaining the best defense in the league. and it shows. This Rams defense was crazy. This Rams defense stopping the Seahawks, making them look bad like they've done before. And like I said, that's what the Russell Wilson that showed up was the bad Russ. Akers came off the game with the second most scrimmage yards by a rookie in a playoff game with 176 yards. Rams defense now has 16 sacks in 3 games versus the Seahawks this season. Like I said, best defense in the league. They're gonna have a little bit of a test next week or this coming up week, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they show up, how they play, and what they can do against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Next, we got Bucks and Washington. Bucks 31, Washington 23. Brady with 381 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Fournette, 19 rushing attempts, 93 yards, 1 touchdown. They had 142 rushing yards as a team. Mike Evans, 6 catches, 119 yards, who a lot of people did not expect to play, and he still played and put up numbers. Brait with 4 catches, 80 yards. Godwin, 5 catches, 79 yards, and a touchdown. AB also had a touchdown. Suckup was 4 for 4 from field goals. Heineke, who ended up being the starter over Alex Smith, who was still doubtful throughout the week, and it just looked like he was not going to start, and he didn't. So Heineke threw for 306 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 6 rushing attempts, 46 yards, and 1 touchdown. Gibson had 14 attempts for 31 yards. They had 86 rushing yards as a team. Cam Sims, 7 catches, 104 yards. McLaren, 6 catches, 75 yards. Logan Thomas with 5 catches, 74 yards. And Steven Sims with a touchdown. They had 3 sacks as a team. Brady is now the oldest quarterback with a playoff passing touchdown. And this is the first playoff game in NFL history that's featuring female coaches on both sidelines. Very interesting game, though. And Washington's defense just couldn't hold on anymore. They looked winded. They were tired. We knew it was going to be kind of hard for the offense, especially since Alex Smith wasn't starting. Heineke is not a bad quarterback, actually. He's a lot of people, don't know much about him. They, haven't seen much of him play in the NFL. He's not that bad. He's still learning. He's still, trying to get that experience under his belt. But to do it against this Bucks defense and this Bucks team was a test for him. And Brady is just showing that the older he gets, the better he's still getting. He's older, yeah, but he's not playing like he's 43. Come on, he's playing like he's like 37, 38, like at that prime age of quarterback right before they jump right into retirement. And he looks like he's not ready for retirement. The weapons around him, Mike Evans still playing. It's just, they're ready. They've been getting better and better every week since their bye week. They got the Saints this coming up weekend, which I don't think that's going to be a 3 in a row for the Saints, but that's going to be a good game. We got Brady versus Breeze part 3. And this Bucks defense, this Bucks offense, they're ready for that game, and it's going to be very fun to watch. Next, we got the Ravens-Titans. Ravens 20, Titans 13. Lamar Jackson had 179 passing yards and 1 interception. He had 16 rushing attempts for 136 yards and 1 touchdown. Dobbins with 9 rushing attempts, 43 yards, and a touchdown. They had 236 rushing yards as a team. Hollywood Brown with 7 catches, 109 yards. Tannehill had 165 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Derrick Henry, 18 attempts, 40 yards. They only had 51 rushing yards as a team. A.J. Brown with 6 catches, 83 yards, and 1 touchdown. They had 5 sacks on their defense, from their defense. And the Ravens are the only team in NFL history with a winning record on the road in the postseason. And it's crazy that they're winning like that. The Ravens defense has 27 interceptions in the playoffs in the John Harbaugh era, most in the NFL in that span. This Ravens team, though, is going to raise eyebrows, and it's going to put offenses on their toes. We know about this offense. We know about the run game. They're great. Rushing for over 400 yards one game, now rushing for over 200 yards in the next game, and it's a playoff game. And, just the way they pretty much embarrassed this Titans team was entertaining and boring at the same time. They stopped Derrick Henry from running 40 rushing yards in the game for Derrick Henry, who had been running all over teams who, like I said, looked like a college running back playing against running over these teams that barely have a defense or can't tackle. He's stiff arming people left and right, running them over 200 yards here, over 150 yards there, and then he stopped. This Ravens defense is good. They could stop the run. They're good at stopping the run at the same time letting their offense become the run. Lamar Jackson is still, he's if he's gonna make it deep, if he's going to make a deep run in the playoffs and get to a Super Bowl, his one main thing that he has to work on is his passing accuracy. That's it. If he could pass a little bit more, trust his receivers more, you got good receivers, you got a great tight end in Mark Andrews. Use him and, take advantage of that. Get better in passing, pass a little bit more accurate, work on your passing. We know you can run. We know you got legs, you got feet. Yeah, that's good. But you're only going to make it so far if you can't pass the ball. So with the Ravens and going into Buffalo is going to make a very interesting game. Next, we got the Bears and Saints. Bears 9, Saints 21. Trubisky with 199 passing yards, 1 touchdown. Montgomery with 12 rushing attempts, 31 yards. They have 48 rushing yards as a team. Robinson with 6 catches, 55 yards. Breeze with 265 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Kamara with 23 rushing attempts, 99 yards, and 1 touchdown. They had 123 rushing yards as a team. Harris with 7 catches, 83 yards. Thomas with 5 catches, 73 yards, and 1 touchdown. Murray also had a touchdown. The Saints have now scored 21 or more points in each of the 17 games this season, tied for most in a single season in franchise history, which is, of course, including playoffs. Breeze is the 6th player in NFL history with 35 or more passing touchdowns in postseason. And the Bears have defeated only one team with a winning record this season, and that was the Bucs. This Bears team wasn't ready. They lost the last game of the season, regular season. They slipped in because of a couple of other losses. The Saints team is trying to prove that they still have it. Drew Brees is trying to prove that he has it before he goes out the door, before he hangs it up, actually. Let's say he's hanging up the jersey. But if this is Drew Brees' last year, watch out, because he's trying to end it with a stamp. He's trying to end it with a ride into the sunset with that Super Bowl trophy next to him and possibly the Super Bowl MVP trophy. It's going to be fun, interesting, entertaining, and boring at the same time. His weapons are good, but they're not weapons. They're not what it's going to take for him to win one more Super Bowl. The Saints are good, though. It's going to be a good game. Like I said before, Brady versus Breeze 3. It's going to be not like the first two. The Bucs are ready. This is the playoffs. It's not the regular season. It's a whole different game. So it's going to be a good game to watch and to catch, to see, what two quarterbacks who are in that, in their prime at their age, and to see what they do in the spotlight. All right, next we got Browns and Steelers. Browns 48, Steelers 37, which ended the game on Sunday night. Browns 48, Steelers 37. Mayfield with 263 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Chubb with 18 rushing attempts, 76 yards. He also had 4 catches for 69 yards and 1 touchdown. Hunt with 8 rushing attempts, 48 yards and 2 touchdowns. They had 127 rushing yards as a team. Landry with 5 catches, 92 yards, 1 touchdown. Hooper with 7 catches, 46 yards and 1 touchdown. They had 4 interceptions as a team. Roethlisberger, 501 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Connor with 11 rushing attempts, 37 yards, and 1 touchdown. They had 52 rushing yards as a team. Smith-Schuster with 13 catches, 157 yards, and 1 touchdown. Johnson with 11 catches, 117 yards. Ebron with 7 catches and 1 touchdown. Claypool with 5 catches and 2 touchdowns. Ben had 47 completions in the game, which is most in a playoff game in NFL history, and also the most with passing attempts at 68. Ben is the first player in NFL history with 4 passing touchdowns and 4 interceptions in a playoff game. First quarter was 28-0 Browns. First play of the game was a fumble recovered by the Browns defense in the end zone, and it just went down from there. Steelers just lost it. When that happened, between that veteran center in Pouncey and Big Ben, who they've been, playing together for a while now, and for that mistake to happen was very big. The Saints were playing catch up from that point on. It was very interesting because so many people had the Browns out. Coach gone, play caller gone, offensive line gone, defensive players gone, COVID issues here and there. And the Browns came in and did what the Browns had to do. They played ball their way. After that first touchdown, that was it. It was the Browns game from that point on. It's crazy how the Browns just took over. No one expected the Browns to do what they did against the Steelers, especially put up this many points against this type of defense. This defense, I've said it before and I've been saying it, the back half of the season, they cannot stop the run. The Browns didn't run like I thought they would or try to take advantage of, but they still ran the ball. And to put up the numbers that they did, to do what they did on the field, to put up the points that they put up, this Browns team is one to look out for because they slipped up against the Steelers. And even, with Ben throwing for 501 yards, Ben still passed for 501 yards with 4 touchdowns and still lost the game. And it's crazy because Ben was showing his age, I guess you can say, and just showed that to me it looked like his heart was just not in it. Like, he was there, he wanted to win because he didn't want to let his team down, he didn't want to let the fans down, but at the same time his heart was not there to finish that game, to win that game. And it showed. It was like he just was kind of like in cruise mode because he was too cautious. And to lose to this Browns team the way that they did, it should be an eye opener. He was very emotional in the post game conference and in interviews or whatnot. It hit. I think it hit him after the game that, oh snap, my heart wasn't in the game. My head was there. I was there physically. But at the same time, he was worrying too much about letting everybody down. This was a wake-up call for the Steelers in general. Is Ben coming back next year? If he is he going to be the old Ben? Because new Ben can't get it done. So is he going to be the old Ben or is he going to be a better Ben? Is Juju coming back? Is Connor coming back? Do I really need Connor? Do I need Juju? There's a lot that's about to happen and go down in this Steelers organization. The Browns, on the other hand, like I said, watch out, because if they keep going the way they're going and Baker's playing the way he's been playing, this team can make a decent run in the playoffs. Not make it to the Super Bowl, but if they do, that's one fairy tale team that's that's gonna shock the world. This weekend coming up is gonna be very good. We got the divisional round, and is going, like I said, interesting, entertaining, and boring all at the same time. And that's all the BS I have for this episode. Until next time.